Have you ever stopped to think that life is shaped by the choices we make? That at any moment, a single decision could completely change the course of our existence? Today, we're going to explore how each person is always one choice away from changing everything. We'll see what great philosophers, psychologists, and real-life examples teach us about the power of our decisions. Get ready, because this video might make you see your choices in a whole new light. Jean-Paul Sartre, one of the greatest representatives of existentialism, placed the concept of free will at the center of his philosophy. For Sartre, humans are absolutely free to make choices and, therefore, are entirely responsible for what they become. In his work, Existentialism is a Humanism, he famously declared, "We are condemned to be free," meaning that, no matter how much we try to avoid it, we are always forced to make decisions, and those decisions shape our essence and our destiny. Sartre's view challenges the idea that we are defined by external circumstances, fate, or higher powers. He believed that we are what we choose to be, and each choice we make builds our character and future. There is no predetermined human nature. We construct it through the choices we make throughout life. This freedom can be daunting because it carries the weight of total responsibility for our actions. We cannot blame fate, others, or society for our failures or successes. We are the only ones responsible. A key point in Sartre's philosophy is the concept of bad faith. He describes bad faith as the attempt to escape the responsibility of choosing by pretending that we are forced to act a certain way by external factors, such as culture, societal expectations, or destiny. When we live in bad faith, we are denying our freedom, inventing excuses to avoid facing the fact that we always have the possibility of making a different choice. A clear example of how this philosophy applies today is when someone decides to change careers, even after years in a job that no longer satisfies them. This decision perfectly illustrates Sartre's idea that we are always one choice away from changing everything. Although the fear of the unknown may paralyze us, recognizing that we have the freedom to make this change can open doors to new opportunities and rewrite our future. Viktor Frankl, psychiatrist and founder of logotherapy, offered a unique perspective on the power of choices, even in the most extreme situations. In his book Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl recounts his experiences in Nazi concentration camps during World War II, where he witnessed complete dehumanization. Yet, even in the face of such brutality, he argued that humans still retain the freedom to choose their attitude toward their circumstances. For Frankl, this inner freedom is something that no one can take away from us. Frankl believed that while we cannot control the events that happen to us, we can always choose how we respond to them. This choice of attitude, especially in moments of extreme suffering, is what allows people to find meaning in their lives, regardless of adversity. He argued that the true meaning of life isn't found in the absence of suffering, but in how we choose to face it. The ability to give purpose to suffering, to choose to see meaning even in the hardest situations, is what transforms life, according to Frankl. Frankl's logotherapy proposes that the search for meaning is the primary motivation for human beings. This search enables us to face challenges with resilience and hope. Even when everything seems out of control, the simple act of choosing a purpose or a way to view suffering can be the key to transformation. Frankl emphasizes that when we choose to find meaning amidst chaos, we are not merely surviving, but truly living fully. Many accounts of survivors of tragedies, such as severe illnesses or natural disasters, reflect this philosophy. People who choose to find purpose in their pain and suffering often transform their lives and the lives of those around them. Whether by creating foundations to help others or sharing their stories to inspire resilience, these choices of meaning in the face of adversity are clear examples of Frankl's view. Even in circumstances that seem insurmountable, The choice to see meaning and find purpose can change everything. This philosophy isn't limited to extreme situations. In our daily lives, we constantly face challenges and obstacles that can be overcome or redefined through a conscious choice to seek purpose and view them as opportunities for growth rather than despair. In contemporary psychology, the concept of choice is widely studied, especially regarding how our decisions affect our well-being and behavior. One of the most relevant authors in this field is Barry Schwartz, who explores the impact of choices in his book The Paradox of Choice. Schwartz argues that while modern society offers us an abundance of options, the excess of choices can lead to paralysis and dissatisfaction. Instead of feeling liberated by the freedom to choose, we often end up overwhelmed, which can prevent us from making meaningful decisions. Schwartz highlights that the act of choosing can become distressing when we are confronted with too many seemingly equal options. The fear of making the wrong choice paralyzes us, leading to inaction. This reflects the idea that having more options doesn't necessarily mean more happiness or satisfaction. Instead, it can generate anticipatory regret, a constant feeling that no matter what we choose, we're still missing out on something. This paradox of choice illustrates how our capacity to change life through a decision can be both a blessing and a curse. However, other psychologists, like Carol Dweck, offer a more positive perspective on the power of choice, particularly through her theory of the growth mindset. Dweck believes that how we choose to approach challenges and difficulties determines our success and personal growth. According to her, people with a growth mindset believe their abilities can be developed through effort and learning, while those with a fixed mindset see their capacities as unchangeable. This choice of how to view one's potential is fundamental to success. Choosing to adopt a growth mindset transforms how we deal with failures and obstacles. Instead of seeing failures as the end of the road, those who adopt this perspective see mistakes as learning opportunities, which propels them to reach new levels of success and fulfillment. A clear example of this is in the world of sports and business. Athletes who adopt a growth mindset, for instance, tend to recover more quickly from injuries or failures because they choose to see these moments as opportunities to improve. Similarly, entrepreneurs who embrace this mindset are more willing to take risks and innovate, knowing that even if they fail, they can learn and adapt. So, while Schwartz highlights the dangers of excess choices and indecision, Dweck reminds us that choosing to approach challenges with a positive and flexible attitude can transform our lives entirely. How we approach our choices and respond to difficulties defines whether those decisions lead to growth or stagnation. Great transformations in our lives aren't always the result of dramatic or revolutionary choices. Often it's the small, everyday decisions that have the most significant impact over time. Small choices like changing daily habits can have an impressive cumulative effect, influencing our health, mental well-being, and even personal and professional relationships. The idea that everyone is one choice away from changing everything also applies to these small but powerful decisions. Charles Duhigg, in his book The Power of Habit, explores how small habit changes can have a profound impact on people's lives. He describes how keystone habits, simple actions that once changed, trigger a series of other positive changes, can be the starting point for great transformation. For example, choosing to start exercising regularly can improve not only physical health, but also productivity, mood, and even strengthen interpersonal relationships. These small changes accumulate and create a domino effect that can transform a person's life. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, also emphasizes the power of small changes. According to Clear, 1% improvements over time can lead to enormous transformations. Instead of seeking immediate large-scale changes, he argues that we should focus on small daily adjustments that, when practiced consistently, lead to extraordinary results. The central idea is that daily choices, like waking up earlier, reading for 10 minutes, or avoiding distractions, may seem insignificant at the moment, but these decisions shape who we become over time. A clear example of this concept is in the field of health and well-being. Many people choose to adopt healthy habits like walking 30 minutes a day, drinking more water, or improving their diet. These small decisions, when made consistently, lead to long-term results such as weight loss, increased energy, and greater longevity. The cumulative impact of these small daily choices is immense. Another common example is in professional development. An individual who chooses to learn something new every day, whether through reading, online courses, or networking, is making small but consistent choices that over time set them apart in their career. These choices may seem trivial at the moment, but the sum of them can lead to promotions, new opportunities, or even a career change. These examples show that great changes don't necessarily require a single grand decision. Instead, they come from the sum of small decisions that, when repeated consistently, create a path of transformation. Every choice, no matter how small, has the power to move us toward a fuller and more meaningful life. One of the greatest obstacles to making life-changing decisions is the fear of the unknown. Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard spoke of the idea of the leap of faith, which involves making decisions without guarantees, trusting only in one's courage and intuition. Kierkegaard argued that often we avoid making choices out of fear of failure or because we cannot foresee the outcomes. However, he also emphasized that avoiding choices out of fear is a way to paralyze one's life and hinder growth. For Kierkegaard, the leap of faith is the act of choosing something even in the face of uncertainty. This leap may be necessary in many areas of life, such as starting a new relationship, changing careers, or even embarking on a project that seems risky. According to him, the lack of guarantees is an essential part of life, and it takes courage to accept that and make decisions even when the future is uncertain. In today's world, this fear of the unknown often manifests as procrastination or avoidance of responsibilities. People postpone important decisions because they fear the consequences, or simply because they are unsure if the choice will be the right one. However, Kierkegaard teaches us that constant hesitation is, in itself, a form of stagnation. He challenges us to accept that there are no absolute guarantees, but that true growth occurs when we have the courage to face the unknown and choose. Think of people who hesitate to start a new project, open a business, or move to a new city, all because they fear not knowing what the future will hold. Often, those who overcome this fear and take the leap of faith discover that change, even with its challenges, leads to new opportunities and achievements they would never have encountered if they had stayed in their comfort zone. Life is composed of choices, and each one has the potential to change everything. Philosophers like Sartre remind us that we are responsible for our decisions, while Frankl teaches us that even in the most difficult circumstances, we can choose how we respond. Carol Dweck and Nietzsche emphasize that the choices we make, whether to adopt a growth mindset or seek self-overcoming, define who we become. Even the small daily decisions, as explored by Charles Duhigg and James Clear, have the power to create significant changes over time. Finally, Kierkegaard challenges us to confront the fear of the unknown and take the leap of faith, understanding that without bold choices, there is no real growth. Life doesn't offer guarantees, but it's precisely in the most uncertain decisions that we find new directions and possibilities. So, as you reflect on your life, remember, everyone is one choice away from changing everything. The question is, are you willing to choose the unknown, the growth, and the change? If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe to the channel, and share your stories of life-changing choices in the comments. See you next time.